Hello everyone, in this episode of my JavaScript tutorial I am going to create our first example project. So yeah, I'm gonna create a simple counter. So we are gonna have a label, a number and 3 buttons. So we can increment, decrement and reset the label. Then I'm also gonna use an if statement to change the color of the label text. What I'm also going to do is maybe create some buttons that will add more than one. Anyways, let's get started. So I'm gonna create a div with the class container and inside a label, and we'll say 0. That's gonna be the value. Let's set the ID to be counter. Okay, and then I'm gonna need some buttons. So button ID increase, there we go. Then button reset, button ID decrease, and let's create buttons to add to or remove to, or actually button ID increase by 3. Increase by 3, and then we're gonna do decrease by 3. Alright, there we go. Now when I open the website it looks like this. Okay, so I'm gonna take the first I'm gonna take the body element, actually the asterisk. Margin will be 0 and padding 0. Then I'm gonna take the body, I'm gonna set the font family to be Arial, backed up with Helvetica and sans serif. Then the background color will be HSL 0%, 75%, I mean 25. There we go. And the color will be white. Alright, I'm gonna make this into an HSL. Let's say that it's gonna be a little bit of a darker shade. Okay, I think we got all that we're gonna need for the body. Also the height will be 100 viewport heights. Then I'm gonna take the container class and the width is gonna be 300 pixels and same for the height. We will adjust these accordingly later on. And by the way, I gotta remove these. Alright, and I'm gonna remove that one. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna make the background color of the container light blue and margin 0 auto to center align it. Actually, I'm gonna add 25 pixels to the top and bottom, and otherwise it's gonna be center aligned. Alright, I'm gonna make this 400 pixels, but the width is gonna stay at 300. Then I'm gonna go ahead and create a flex box, display flex. Actually, I'm gonna do one more change. div buttons, and I'm gonna cut these buttons inside of this div element. There we go. Alright, so now we got the counter. I'm gonna use that. So counter, text align, center. Wait. Yes, I got the correct ID. What if I make this to be a flexbox? Justify content, center, align items, center, and flex, direction, column. Alright, there we go. The color of this will be black, and font size will be 10 em. Let's say 8 em. Alright, so there's gonna be the value. Then I'm gonna go actually back to the container. I'm gonna add border radius 25 pixels. There we go. And then I'm gonna take all the buttons. I'm gonna add a class buttons. No, we can't use the buttons. We gotta say button style. Alright, I'm gonna copy this to every one of these. And then I'm gonna take the div element dot buttons. The width will be, let's say 100%, or 80%, 90, 89, 87. Let's go with 87. Alright. So let's set the background color of this div to be pink. Padding 10 pixels. Let's go with 15 actually. Border radius will be 10 pixels. And now we gotta style these buttons. So I'm gonna go to and take the button style. Yep, that's the name of the class. I'm gonna add some padding. 5 pixels by 10 pixels. Okay, we cannot fit these anymore in here. Well. I guess what I'm gonna do is make the container even more wide. Uh, 600. Alright, now they are gonna be in a line. What about 550? 540? Let's go with 530. Alright. It looks good now. Then I'm gonna go and remove the border. The background color is gonna be light blue. I'm gonna select a color. Let's go with, let's say this color. I'm gonna copy that. Then we'll add some border radius to smooth the corners. Color white, font size 1 em, 0.5. Let's see. 0.89 is the largest value. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker, like that. Alright, and the cursor will be a pointer. There we go. Then I'm gonna take the button style and the hover pseudo class. There we go. And then I will make the color 10% darker when I hover over one of these. And then I'm gonna copy this. And then I'm gonna take the active pseudo class and 30%. So when I click, these will flash. Alright. And by the way, I want to put this button to the beginning. So let's go back to the HTML file. So increase by 3. Cut. There we go. Alright. So in the middle we got the reset button. Increase, decrease, decrease by 3, increase by 3. Okay. And we got the styling as well. Alright. Then I'm gonna go to JavaScript. So we have some elements to import. First, let's get the counter. So const count label equals document get element by ID counter. Then const increase 3 equals document.get element by ID. The ID is increased by 3. Const decrease 3 decrease by 3. Const increase alright, and decrease. There we go. So now we got all the elements that we need to get. We got the label and all of the buttons. And we got them by the IDs. Actually, I'm missing one. Const reset equals document get element by ID reset. There we go. Now we got all these HTML elements that we're gonna need. Alright. I'm gonna start by the increase button. So increase. Then I'm gonna do add event listener. We are gonna listen for a click, and then we will do the function increase. So function increase. And by the way, before I go over there, I'm gonna let count equals 0. So yeah, the current count will be 0. When we increase it, the count will be incremented. And then I'm gonna check color. That's gonna be yet another function. Okay. Then I'm gonna take decrease, add event listener click, and decrease will be the function name. Function decrease count minus minus, and then we will check color. And lastly, or actually no, we will next take the reset, add event listener. We will listen for a click, and then we will run the reset function, and then count will be reset to 0. Alright. Then I'm gonna take the, what was the name? Increase 3. So increase 3 add event listener, click, increase tree, function, increase by tree. So we're gonna take the count plus equals 3, and that's gonna be it for that. Then decrease tree, get the event listener, there we go, and let's create the function decrease tree, count minus equals 3. Alright, and then I'm gonna copy the check color function to all of these. So whenever we click a button, we will also execute a function called check color. Let's create that one. Check color. Okay, so what I want to do is that if the value goes below 0, I want to make the count label's color be red. If it's at 0, it's gonna be black, and if it's at over 0, it's gonna be green. So yeah, inside of this function, I'm gonna say if count is more than 0, we will do the count label dot style dot color equals red. Else if count is smaller than 0, we will do count label style.color equals red. And I made a little mistake. This one should be, let's use light green. There we go. And then I'm gonna add else the count labels color will be black. So if the count is not larger than 0, or if it's not smaller than 0, in that case it means that the count is exactly 0. And when it's exactly 0, I'm gonna use the color black. So yeah. So let's see if this is actually working out. It should be. Let's say increase. Oh my god. What now? Increase document dot. Oh yeah. I'm gonna create render count. I'm gonna copy this function into all of these. I actually forgot about this completely. Actually, I'm not gonna do it like this. I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna add this to the end of the check color function. So before we exit the function, I'm gonna do that. Then function render count. We'll take the count label dot text content, make it equal to the value wait a moment. So yeah, the value is gonna be the count variable. Alright, let's see if it works. Increase. No, what am I doing wrong? Interesting. Be right back. Okay, I actually made a very rookie mistake. So I gotta use anonymous functions here. So there we go. And there we go. Alright. Then I'm gonna copy this. Decrease. Okay. So I'm gonna change these to arrow functions. Because that's basically how it has to be. Alright, then reset, add event listener, click, and then we'll do this. There we go, count will be 0, and check color. Alright. Then I'm gonna do this. So count plus equals 3, check color. Alright. So we gotta use anonymous functions in this and not a named function, because when the function is named, it will be ran immediately. So yeah, I made a pretty rookie mistake. Alright, anyways, there we go. Now it's fixed and everything is back to normal. So increase. I'm actually gonna go with green instead of the light green. So yeah, when it's 0, that's gonna be black, then it's gonna be green, and then it's gonna be red. We can reset, increase by 3 and decrease by 3. So yeah, all of these buttons are working right now. So yeah, this is gonna be the first project of this JavaScript tutorial, and this is a pretty easy one. So basically we have 6 HTML elements. We are going to take them by their elements ID into the JavaScript file. Then we'll save some constant references to them. Then we have one variable, count. Count will be 0 at the beginning. Then we just go down the list. We take increase, add event listener. When we click, we will do this arrow function. So count plus plus and run the function check color. And that's how it goes. Then when we check the color, if the count is larger than 0, the color will be green. If it's less than 0, it's gonna be red, and the else means that it's not more or less than 0, so that means that it has to be 0. So yeah, I'm gonna comment here. If count is not more than 0 or less than 0, it means it's 0. So we don't have to type in else if count is equal to 0. We can just say else, because this is the only option remaining anymore. Alright, then we will render count, and we take the count label, access the text content, and we are using a template literal over here, a placeholder, and then we input the count variable. Alright, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you were able to learn something new, and yeah, I hope that I'm gonna see you in the next one, and yeah, have a wonderful day everyone, and happy learning. Bye bye.